Alright, what's up y'all, it's Lake2 here, as you can about title today's video, here to ask, is a bad lead against Perish Trap an automatic loss in Pokemon Champions? Now, I made a video similar to this, but opposite of can you recover from a bad lead with Perish Trap in Champions? And this one was asking, can we recover from something that I led that ended up being terrible into the opposing matchup, like for instance, Rotom plus also Venusaur, where Primarina, for instance, can't deal with that at all. Now, in today's vid, I want to talk about, can someone else recover that isn't running Perish Trap from our lead that ended up being really good into theirs? And I'm here to tell you right now, I really don't think that's the case. I think if you lead really terribly into Perish Trap, that you will get cooked for it. So basically what I'm trying to say is when they don't have good matchups into things like Sableye, Gengar together, and now I realize that they can't output enough damage with one of the slots, and we can simply just go for a Fake Out plus Perish, and then go double protect, and then go Encore Disable combo, stuff like that, and start really sifting down the one big threat, and leave the non-threat completely, void, and just not deal with them at all. And basically, if you don't lead two big hitters into Gengar off rip when it comes to trying to counter Perish Trap, how that actually gets you cooked as well. So this video is not only just to talk to you guys about how to capitalize off of bad leads when it comes to playing with Perish Trap, but also, technically speaking, I'm here to show you guys as well how to maybe recover from stuff like this if you're playing against Perish Trap. I like to go maybe both ways with the explanations and kind of tips videos, but I don't know. I obviously lean a little bit more heavily toward our own Perish Trap advice giving. So take this however you may. I'm just here to showcase to you guys how bad leads can really just get punished extremely hard when it comes to Perish Trap being used. Alright, so into the gameplay we go. Now I will say about these guys' team, it's not the most adept into ours, like as far as it just being capable in terms of doing big damage. I would say the big threats are probably Poly plus Archalanon together. It needs to be that way though. Or potentially for it to be Incineroar plus Venusaur together, where I then can't hit the Perish as reliably because of Incineroar being able to get out, but things like Mega Venusaur Earth Power and then also Darkest Lariat or Throat Chop, whatever it may be, combo into Gengar as really big damage output. Now, the problem with Perish Trap is it's a very predictable playstyle. It is so obvious in most cases that you're going to lead Gengar, and that's just super necessary in terms of getting the job done, because obviously Shadow Tag only works when he's on the field, and then Perish Song is typically about the only use we can get out of only him, and then technically we could still get it out of Primarina as well, but again, with not the ability to Shadow Tag and trap people as well. So it's pretty obvious that when you play against Perish Trap, you're going to be able to go with things that hard counter Gengar, and you're not going to get punished for it very often, because very rarely are you going to save Gengar for the back. So what I'm trying to essentially say right here is, if they want to do some form of setting up Rain next to Mega Dragonite, or next to Archalanon, or next to Mega Venusaur, they want to put Incineroar or something like that, made a lot of sense to go for with leads. So while I will say that, I obviously do want to acknowledge to you guys, Sableye is a really great lead into everybody here. If it's Arch, you know, we're faster than him on both slots. We can hit Encore Disable together. We could, like, say, hit Encore into Arch to make him use Electro Shot again, and then disable him to be able to make him do that not anymore, and then boom, there you are, getting stuck struggling. So if you lead one big non-threat into the Perish Trap, you're going to find yourself in a little bit of a concern. Now these guys, in my opinion, lead the two biggest non-threats together at the same time. They go Aerodactyl plus Politoed on the lead, and while Politoed is a really cool mon, it works really good in the Perish and stuff like that as well, I'm not threatened with a one-hit KO from either of the two mons, so then we can just fake out one of them, set up the Perish, and get things rolling from there. So anyway, skip the intros and stuff like that. As you can see, what we decide to bring is going to be Sableye, Gengar on the lead with Tink, and then also Incineroar in the back. So we have the triple fake out unit right here. I cannot tell you guys enough. We've been using this trio of the triple fake outers so much since that video I dropped a couple of days ago, and I just gotta say, it's been my new favorite archetype with this Perish, to be able to set up fake outs and disables and stuff like that with Sableye, and then be able to get into the back with Incineroar and be able to just switch and then threaten Parting Shot on the next turn, or with Tink to be able to fake out even the Armor Tail for Rigorath and stuff like that is super threatening. So anyway, as you can see, Aerodactyl with the Unnerve and then Politoed with the Drizzle, so both abilities are summoning on entry right there. But yeah, I really, like, if it's Mega Arrow, we're still not even threatened with KOs. However, I am threatened with the speed tiering that Aerodactyl now provides. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to Perish and then fake out the Arrow. What I don't want to happen is for Arrow to outspeed us and Rock Slide flinch us, but damage-wise, he's not concerning at all. Aerodactyl can't really do a whole lot into Gengar or Sableye, and especially not Sableye with how physically defensively trained we have him. Politoed, however, with the Weather Ball can threaten pretty good damage, but not enough. Not nearly enough into Gengar. And then also Politoed is, you know, going to be stuck in a situation where if he hits things like, let's say, let's say he hits Encore, for instance. That's where I think I was the most concerned about this, and what I was really worried about was slow Encore from Politoed turn 1 into Gengar to make us stuck using Perish Song over and over again. What I assumed they were kind of trying to play around, though, with their play of slow Encore into actually Sableye is probably to play around exactly this and then protect from Gengar first turn. However, they might have been a little bit mistaken in that because I am simply not protecting. So, as you can see, fire off the Perish Song. Sableye is vulnerable now, and so is Gengar into whatever Politoed's going to decide to do, whether it's Weather Ball. And as you can see, it ends up going Encore. Now, this is why I say to you guys that I really do think this is a really good lead for us, because if they ended up trying to hit that and they wanted to play around our double protect, it wouldn't have mattered for them. So now they take our Sableye offline and make it so we're not able to do anything other than Fake Out, which is terrible. We obviously don't want to do that. So now, because we have the triple Fake Out unit, I'm able to simply get into someone in the back like Tinkaton, who's going to be a pretty decent special defender, deal with things from Politoed, resist both the different moves that Arrow's going to do between Rock Slide and Dual Wing Beat, stuff like that. So Tink's a really good switch in right here, as well as we threaten Fake Out on the following turn. And remind you, I'm protecting Gengar on this turn, so Politoed's not able to hit the Encore into us because we're going to be, stopping anything from hitting us. And then we can Fake Out the Politoed on the following turn to make it so he's not able to hit Encore again on that one. So anyway, as you can see, Arrow goes for Taunt into Gengar. I guess I don't know what the play would have been to stop, it's not going to matter if we hit Perish again or not. So I don't really know. Maybe it was to stop Disable, to be fair, or, whatever they thought we might have had in that regard. So they're just firing off no damage. And this is why I say this is a really bad lead combo. I mean, as you can see, Weather Ball, Rain boosted into the Tink ends up doing a little bit less than half HP. And now we're going to be able to disable the Politoed because we protected that incoming Taunt. And we can stop Politoed from using Weather Ball again. And now with Tink, we can Fake Out into one of these slots. We could even Fake Out Arrow if we want to, and just simply get the Disable into Politoed. I'm going to assume that's his only really good damaging move, to be real with you. So anything from this point on, we don't really care about. And if he hits Encore into my Disable, or whatever the case may be in that regard, we're really not worried about that either, because I'm just going to switch Gengar out on the following turn and protect Tink. So, terrible lead from the opponent, ends up getting them cooked. Remind you, this is still like 1700s tier Master Ball. It's not like these guys are like complete novices or anything like that. So they're still kind of getting owned just off the fact that they end up leading 2 mons that threaten the least damage of anybody on our team into Gengar. So as you see, they go Encore on the Tink. That was actually a pretty decent play to set things up on the back, because now that Tink doesn't have to switch out because of the Perish count, technically I do have to switch out because I don't want to be useless into the following turns, being stuck only using Fake Out. So they actually punish me a little bit for my Fake Out usage between whether it's Sableye or if it's Tink. But again, realistically, they haven't fired off any damage at all, and Gengar is still full HP, and whatever comes out in the back, we're going to be able to Perish Song as well. So now we're just going to be able to switch out, and because Politoed can't use Weather Ball and we've disabled that, I could easily switch in Incineroar for either of these two slots, and whatever Politoed has for remaining damage, not concerned, and then whatever Arrow has for remaining damage, with the Rock Slide and do a Wing Beat, I'm not really concerned for either of the other two coming in, because they're both physical defenders at a really decent rate. I've spec'd fully into their HP defense on Incineroar and Sableye, and for that matter too, I'm going to be intimidating Arrow, unless it's some weird thing like White Herb, which I've rarely ever seen any Aerodactyls run. So anyway, into the following turns, you can see they're trying to decipher what's going to be the best way to go about doing some damage onto this, and do they want speed control, do they want certain things that they can do with that. I was a little bit concerned about Aerodactyl Tailwind in this situation, because I was like, well, Gengar isn't going to be able to for sure get the Perish Song off on the back, depending on what's back there, if they end up going for the Tailwind. Now they go Rock Slide, as you can see, and that is decent damage into Incineroar, but nothing major by any means, and as you can see, Sableye tanks that really well as well. And then Politoed goes for the Icy Wind for some speed control, kind of. Now, I'm just going for, Fake Outs. I could actually, for that matter, because we just switched in both these two, double Fake Out on the following turn, just to kind of deal with if they have Fake Outers or anything like that they might be threatening, like their Incineroar, for instance. But anyway, as you can see, awful lead ends up getting them cooked. They end up taking 2 KOs on the Perish. We have all 4 mons alive and in very decent shape as far as health goes. Not all of them on full HP, but Gengar on full, Tinkaton a little bit above half, and then these two both took moderate damage off the Rock Slide. So now they do indeed have Incineroar and Venusaur. Now this is why I'm telling you guys, I really do think if they led opposite of that and maybe brought both those 2 mons, they maybe could have won the game. I'm not here to say I think it was for sure. However, I really do think this was a really safe thing for us to deal with, was the fact that Politoed and Arrow were on the lead together. So, anyway, point being, Now we have, obviously, as you can see, Mega Venusaur is super likely. You know, Dragonite is the other thing they could have been threatening, and then Incineroar as well. So I know that obviously Sableye can't be faked out by Incin, so basically this is how this turn's going to go. If their Incineroar is faster than me, the only way they don't take damage is if they fake me out instead. If I'm faster than them, I get the fake out anyway. So these two interacting with each other with fake out is basically guaranteeing that I'm going to be set up in a decent capacity. I do go for the parting shot, however, right here, as you can see, a little bit of a more risky play, but again, Venusaur is going to get faked out no matter what because I know Incineroar can't. So if I end up going for the parting shot, what's the worst thing that can happen? Incin's going to, let's say, hit parting shot into me first or fake me out. It's like, oh well, I kind of just defer the speed to them, and I just wanted to basically do this just to make sure that we didn't have fake out Incineroar to deal with. They actually go Throat Chop. I don't know, maybe predicting the play. Decent though, but as you can see, that does allow us to actually get out on the parting shot. Now, Throat Chop would have stopped us from doing the parting shot because it stops sound-based moves, and parting shot is indeed one somehow. To be real, I don't really know how, but anyway, it worked out decently for us. We're able to nuke down some Incineroar damage, make that so it's not going to do quite as much into Gengar, and now we're not threatened nearly as much at all. And now, Sableye is going to be a little bit useless to be with you, so I'm probably just switching Incin in again to get even more attack drop on Incineroar while we set up the Perish Song right here. We could threaten fake outs on the following turn, and now I really want to bring you guys to the attention of just the fact that with 3 fake outers on the field, it really makes stalling down these final Perish count turns really easy. Like, Gengar's on full HP, but mind you, these were the 2 big threats that I was talking about that could both double up into Gengar and do really big damage to threaten KOs into him. However, because they didn't do it on the lead and instead did it on the back, now I've got Incineroar -2 attack before Gengar even gets in with the Shadow Tag, and they are down to their last 2 months. They can't even switch out anyway, and Incineroar doesn't see any value off his parting shots anymore because he can't switch into anybody. So we now have Incin -2, Gengar's faster than both, so we get the Perish off, and then if they want to go Earth Power, Darkest Lariat, or Throat Chop, whatever, into Gengar at the same time, again, we've resisted their damage quite a bit now in terms of getting the Intimidates in, and even if they get the KOs, I don't really care, because now we threaten Fake Out, into Protect, whatever the case may be. So they actually go for Flare Blitz, and it doesn't even KO Gengar because of the fact that we've dropped his attack twice. So now we're able to just fire off Double Protect, be able to just sacrifice both these 2, get in on the back 2, and protect them both. We win. Super easy. So they forfeit because they see that writing on the wall. But I just want to tell you guys, like in revision to how this game ended, and again, this trainer right here, really decent, like 1700s in the elo. It's not like this is a terrible player by any means. So I just want to come back to the intro in a second right here and talk to you guys about how, like, truly, I do think that there was a lot of potency on this team in terms of damage that could threaten into us. Like, Arch in the Rain with Electro Shot, that's a one-hit KO potential into Gengar. Earth Power Venusaur plus Darkest Lariat or Throat Chop off the lead, where we can't actually play for anything like that, and it turns out they actually had a faster Incineroar than mine too, so they would have been able to fake my Incin out while also, you know, doing something like Earth Power as well. They could have threatened us quite a bit, and obviously I did end up leaving Sableye, so maybe Incin wouldn't have been the perfect play there, but could still threaten damage while also having the parting shot as well to get out of the Perish Trap. So the fact that they brought these 4 of the Incin, Politoed, Venusaur, and Arrow, it was a decent bring. I'm just very intrigued off the fact that they end up leaving Venusaur and Incineroar in the back. It is kind of crazy, because the only way I could have dealt with both of these 2 at the same time together is to have to just eat an Earth Power straight up on the lead. I would have basically faked out Incin because I find that to be probably a little bit more threatening than Venusaur, and then gone Perish on the first turn as well. But through all of that, we would just still have had a little bit of a hard time to be able to get that off cleanly. They would have taken way more damage into Gengar, while also then they might even still be able to get out of Incin on the parting shot as well, and be able to turn that into only a 1 KO Perish that only takes out Venusaur, something like that. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about this because I think it's a pretty important topic as far as dealing with Perish and how to punish people for these bad leads, because if you see an Incin on the team and he doesn't go with the lead, I think that's crazy into Perish, personally. But obviously it was giving you guys a decent guide for those who are looking to counter Perish Song as well. So for those out there that were trying to, hey, props to you for checking out the video. I appreciate, or I can at least appreciate out of you the work ethic of trying to, like, learn more strategies that you can learn how to counter as well. But obviously, I made this video a little bit more for us to capitalize off of as the Perish squad, if you will. So anyway, that's all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, feel free to drop a like, sub if you're new to them noties, all good stuff. Like always, try this one to 200 likes. And if you made it to the end of the video and you want to show support that you did, you could put Perish or you could put lead in the comments. Church support you made it all the way through. But anyway, that's all for this one. Appreciate you guys for watching. I'll get to recording a couple more videos pretty soon here. I've been off the game a little bit over the last couple of days, but I am looking forward to actually playing a little bit more in this current session that I'm talking on right now. So as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm probably going to play the game for quite a few more hours and be able to get some more footage of the games as well. So anyway, that's all. I appreciate you guys for watching. None of that. Take it easy, man. Peace.